Civil War is the newest film from director Alex Garland and follows an American Civil War, but through the perspective of journalists. With Alex Garland, you've got to expect some kind of plot twist. His films have an element of surprise to them, so I was expecting this to have some extremely difficult thematic reasonings to deal with, but it doesn't work for me all the way. Mainly because of the apolitical nature of a film called Civil War. What I do like about it though are the performances. I think Hayley Spaney in particular, she gives a gravitas to the character. Her role is extremely straightforward. She's a younger journalist who uses an older camera, which is something that Alex likes to point out in interviews. So you can tell that there is a maturity between her and the other adults in this war. I also think that the set pieces to do with the actual war itself are really striking. It's an example of A24 using a budget to its advantage, specifically in the way that Alex Garland puts the camera in these places. But the issue for me comes with the way of which they're portraying the war, because you don't really know what's caused it, or you don't really know why America is in this uproar. And sometimes with real life wars you don't really need to know, but at the same time it gives us a good insight into why this is happening. But the human behaviors that are exhibited during this time are what's important. America's need for politics has never been unnoticed, obviously, because it's election year and there's been a big uproar with that, which goes to this film because in the film the president is on his third term, which I suspect is the reason why the war has started, is because of the third term. Again, I just don't think that the film goes into enough detail to why there is a third term or to why any of this is happening. An attention to detail would have been so much better than to leave us ambiguous to what is really going on under the covers. Because it's like giving us a colouring book and then asking us to not colour it in. We don't really have much to go off. But the thing that drove me to this is the way that journalists are seen, because it makes journalists seem like they are frontline survivors, of which they kind of are, but at the same time America does have a problem with its depiction of the paparazzi and even journalists as a whole. The most interesting thing they do with these characters is try and get them to take the perfect shot, of which they do try and attempt it, but again that doesn't really come across on screen very well. Treating them as bottom of the barrel scum when this kind of gives them a humanistic point of view, which is cool. I really admire that. Look, I'm far from a political person, but for a film called Civil War, you would want to know what is causing it, right? I keep going back to that point because that's the thing that really drove me crazy watching it. It's the fact that it gives you all of these questions but leaves them unanswered, which previous Alex Garland films actually answer those questions. It does come across as shallow, unfortunately, and with a film with this title and with this amount of marketing, I think the marketing did it dirty. I would have wanted a lot more from it. There are scenes in particular which really struck a chord with me. I really like the Jesse Plemons scene, again the spectacles and the performances, but it falls flat in its face with what it's saying, and that's really unfortunate. The last shot did leave me shaky though, I do admit that. It did leave me extremely affected, which I do have to give credit to Alex Garland for that one. Is it his best film? No. Is it his worst? Maybe, but I still have a lot to praise about it, and it's not a terrible film at all. Just one of those films that gives you so many unanswered questions that it kind of makes you think, what is the point, you know? And hey, that's what I got to say about Civil War. Thank you guys for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and tell me down below what you want to see from me next, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.